Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving once again into Garten of Banban 9. The official title of this chapter is Last Ticket to the Abyss, and from that name alone we can already guess that we're heading toward one of the darkest and most mysterious parts of the entire series. In the previous chapters we explored many areas, corridors, the city, and strange underground facilities. But now it seems our journey will take us even deeper, toward a place that has only been whispered about before, the Abyss of Banban's kindergarten. A place that has been mentioned in hidden messages, secret documents, and strange symbols scattered across the earlier chapters. And finally, in chapter 9, it looks like we're actually going there. In this video, we'll take a look at everything we know so far about the Abyss, all the official information that's been revealed, and we'll try to understand what awaits us when we finally set foot down there. There are theories and clues that already give us a few hints about what we might find. It's not going to be a friendly place. But before we begin, as always, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming updates, news, and theories about the future chapters. So get ready and let's start with the topic of this video. Let's start with a key detail, the official description of the Abyss published directly on the Steam page of Garten of Banban 9. Among the lines of the chapter synopsis, there's an entire paragraph dedicated to this mysterious place, and it's probably the very first official confirmation that the Abyss will be the new main setting of the game. Here's what the description says. Beneath the surface lies a forgotten place full of abandoned sectors, failed systems, and creatures that were never meant to exist. These walls are colder, more volatile, and far less forgiving. Every step forward demands caution, because everything down here is watching. From this short text, we can already extract a lot of important information. First of all, we discover that the Abyss isn't new in a temporal sense, but rather a forgotten place, maybe built long before the events we already know. It could be a secret section of Banban's kindergarten, perhaps an experimental area where the most dangerous tests were conducted. Then there's an even more disturbing detail, creatures that were never meant to exist. This line suggests that in the Abyss we might encounter deformed beings, mutations, failed experiments, or corrupted versions of the characters we've already seen. It's possible that deep down here we'll find the very first prototypes of the mascots, or even entirely new life forms created by mistakes or uncontrolled experiments. Another interesting point is about the colder and more unstable walls. This makes us think that the environment will be much more dangerous than in previous chapters. We could find ourselves in collapsing areas, floors that give way, or structures constantly falling apart. Maybe even the lights will flicker or shut down often, creating that tense and suffocating atmosphere typical of underground horror settings. And finally, the most mysterious line of all, everything down here is watching. This might mean that we'll never truly be alone. Every step, every sound, every movement might attract the attention of something hiding in the shadows. Perhaps the Abyss will be a place where even the walls, the cameras, or the creatures themselves are constantly observing us, amplifying that sense of paranoia. So, from this single paragraph, it's already clear that the Abyss will be the most horror-filled and claustrophobic setting we've ever seen in the series. A place where the danger doesn't only come from the mascots, but from the environment itself, unstable, threatening, and in constant decay. And compared to the previous chapters, which had more open and colorful environments, here we feel a total shift in tone. Everything points toward a new direction. Chapter 9 will be the final descent into the darkness of Banban's kindergarten. Now, I want to focus on one of the most chilling lines from the official description. Everything down here is watching. This single sentence is probably the most enigmatic and threatening one of all, and it hides a meaning far deeper than it first appears. It makes us understand that in the Abyss we will never truly be alone. Every step we take will be followed, analyzed, maybe even studied by something or someone hidden in the shadows. And here comes into play a very important character that we haven't met yet, but we already know will play a central role in the future of the saga, the Stalker. Just from the name we can already guess what kind of creature we're talking about. It's the main mascot of Chapter 5, which, let's remember, hasn't been released yet, but we already have a few official details revealed by the Steam page. The Stalker could be a terrifying and silent presence, constantly following us without ever truly revealing itself. We already know what it looks like, but its name and description suggest that it could be an ever-watching entity, a being that observes us from the darkness without ever stepping into the light. And that makes it perfectly connected to the Abyss, because if we put all the clues together, the link becomes much clearer. Down in the Abyss, everything watches. The Stalker, by definition, is the one who watches, So what if he's the very reason we're being watched down there? What if the abyss is his territory, his domain, or even the place where he was first created? In previous videos, we already developed some theories about the possibility that the stalker lives in the abyss, maybe as a creature that's been hiding there since the very beginning of Banban's kindergarten. And now, with the official description of Last Ticket to the Abyss, that theory sounds more real than ever. We might finally meet him for the first time in Chapter 9, or at least discover some new clues about his true nature. The phrase "everything down here is watching" might not refer only to him though. Maybe the stalker doesn't watch alone. That's the perfect environment for a being like the stalker. If we analyze the hints carefully, it seems clear that the abyss is the ideal habitat for such a creature. Dark, silent, always watching. And if Chapter 9 truly takes us all the way down, then the stalker might be the one waiting for us down there, ready to reveal himself for the very first time. Or maybe not. Maybe he'll just keep watching us from afar, hidden behind every corner, waiting for the right moment to strike. Now I want to talk about another crucial detail, still connected to the abyss. As we read in the official description, it clearly mentions creatures that were never meant to exist. But the real question is, who are these creatures really? If we analyze everything we know so far about the Garten of Banban universe, there's one element that comes back in every chapter. Every mascot is not just a character but an experiment. Each creature we've met is the result of scientific experiments conducted deep beneath the kindergarten, where science and madness fuse together to create artificial beings with consciousness, emotions, and sometimes deadly instincts. But if every mascot is an experiment, then the idea of creatures that were never meant to exist becomes even more terrifying. These entities could be the failed experiments, deformed and uncontrollable versions, born from mistakes, genetic mutations, or tests gone wrong. Creatures that never achieved the stability or intelligence of the main mascots, but somehow survived. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The abyss became a prison. Maybe the creators, unable to destroy them, decided to lock them underground, leaving them in the dark, isolated, forgotten for years. A place where science no longer has control, where everything that went wrong is left to rot in silence. Every corner could hide one of these deformed beings, born from experiments that pushed the limits of biology and morality. And this idea connects perfectly with the tone of the description. These walls are colder, more volatile, and far less forgiving. The walls of the abyss are colder, more unstable, and far less forgiving. Because in those depths, there's no mercy and no human control anymore. These failed creatures, locked away for so many years, might have developed a deep hatred toward everything that exists above them. For them, Banban, Bambalina, and the other successful experiments represent success, perfection, and privilege, while they are the forgotten ones, the rejects, the errors to be erased, and that would make them hostile not only toward us, but also toward the other mascots that managed to survive properly. So, in the abyss, we could finally face the darkest origins of Banban's kindergarten and uncover what the scientists tried to hide forever. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.